Hello, everybody. Let's not put it up so high this time. There we go. Hello. How's everybody doing? All right, everyone's joining in. Okay. Good afternoon. It's that time again. It's Sunday. Oh, good, Alexis. I saw that you had posted about may not be able to make it. I'm glad you can. All right. Got everyone signing on. Hope your Sunday is going great. It's been a great one for me so far. So I hope the same for you. Oh, I was just killing my head. I'm trying to I'm gonna have to start wearing my glasses like this. Hey, everybody. Okay, great. Oh, we've got a lot today. It's so exciting. We're going to be doing a technique, an IQ designer, and also our giveaway winners. Yay, how exciting. So, if I had a post up that was attached to the top of the page earlier this week. I actually closed the comments late last night and yeah, so there's a few things that we're going to be giving away today. That will be the most important thing. And thank you to Zandra Shaw and Lori Hernandez. Zandra Shaw is the owner of embroidershop.com. She makes beautiful designs. And she has this great group that's called Hoop Fun Club. So, Hoop Fun Club. Well, if you're kind of in with the baby lock community, you know that there is an amazing educator, and her name is Lori Hernandez, and she is amazing with the serger. So, her and Zandra, I'm assuming this is how it worked, got together and they created the Surge Fun Club. And both of these are a monthly club. So, you can go and sign up for each month. And with the Hoop Fun Club, you get, let's see, what do you get? You get blah, 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 designs, you get projects, you get videos, you get all kind of cool things. And it's not just like one little design collection you get each month. You get a bunch, and it's amazing. And if you know Zandra's designs, they're absolutely gorgeous. Thank you, Dolores. Um, but Lori is doing the same thing, but for surging. So each month she's going to have this a great project and instructions and videos for you. And Zandra and Lori so graciously gave me a membership to give away to you guys. So those of you who have a surger, we asked you a question, y'all all gave answers. Now, when we get to that point, and you don't have a serger, because I told you I was going to be giving away some other things, please let me know. So that way I can give you another gift and we can pick someone else who has a serger for the Surge Fun Club membership. So exciting. And let me put these back on. Put these puppies back on and see what's going on out here. From Bama. Hey. Hey, Brenda. Welcome back. Hope you're feeling okay. Thank you guys about my top. It is we have this great little shop called Sparkle here in town, and they have the cutest clothes, and I'm very addicted, and much to my husband's chagrin. They do these great sales online, like lives like this, and girls and gentlemen, I am just so bad about their clothes. I have had a great weekend, Laura. Hey, girl. Thanks. Thanks, Dory. So, all right, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so welcome. It is Facebook Live Sunday here at the Beehive. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to all my members. And for the new members, welcome. Thank you so much for joining the group. I like to start out by saying, Hi, I'm Anna. I'm a sewer, I'm a quilter, I love embroidery. I do dabble a little bit in digital cutting. I do a little bit of everything. I absolutely love it. I am also a baby lock educator. Um, so this is my personal page where you can learn and gain skills. And we're so happy that you're here with us. So welcome. I see, hold on one second. I see a question. I'm going to answer that real quick before I forget. You're from you are very Julie, you're very exotic girl from England because you know I'm coming over there one day. Sue says, I love the pink and blue. Okay, this one right here, that is Swoon. This is one block. Do you see how big it is? One block out of a quilt that is called Swoon, and it's by, I believe, Bonnie and Camille, who I know they make fabric. It may be Camille's, and I can't remember Camille's pattern company, but look up Bonnie and Camille, and that pattern is called Swoon. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's fun to make, and I didn't design it. No, not that good. But yeah, so but that's 20 something inches, and imagine how big a quilt is with a bunch of those. Like I made one and I'm like, I'm good, thanks. Yes, yeah. Bonnie and Camille, thanks, girl. Yeah. So, okay. Well, okay. So, all right, we're all here. We're all joining on. I see a lot of you joining on now. Good. Okay. Again, welcome new members. You can always rewatch these videos at any time at your leisure. You can rewatch all my other videos posted at the top of the group. It shows you, there's a couple pictures that show you how to navigate to find the previous videos. They are under topics and then under Sunday Night Live. Now, oh, another thing is we will be doing every 2 Wednesdays out of the month. I am going to be doing foot fetish. Yay! And foot fetish is where I will be going over different feet. Now let me give my disclaimer. If you own a baby lock, does it really matter for that? No, because the company that you may have or the machine you may have very similar feet. So don't stress. Kind of the same thing with what we're doing now. I do work a lot on the baby locks. However, think about it this way. You're still going to learn something no matter what. If I'm doing something on the machine, I may have a little bit of information. And then I was thinking about it today and I was like, well, what if people don't, what if they have a Husqvarna or Bernina and you're doing these projects on IQ Designer built into Baby Lock and they don't have that yet, then, if you have software, you could actually kind of build what I'm doing. But it's so nice to have it right in my machine and just move on. How can I get reminders from the computer as often as I forget? That's something you'd probably have to set in your calendar. And I don't do calendar setup, and that calendar would be like your Google Calendar or something like that. So there's also a reminder thing on iPhones that you could probably look up and it'll tell you how to do that. So good question, Sue. Thank you, Joanne. So the foot fetish, every other Wednesday, we're going to go over a different foot. And we're going to start with the binding foot this month or this coming up Wednesday. And it's just one of my favorite feet. I think it's really, really super cool. So I was like, we'll just start with that one because it's really cool. It does help a lot. It does not make your binding. It helps sew your binding down. So I think it's a genius foot. So, we're going to talk about that on Wednesday. So if you can join me on Wednesday. I believe I've got it at 8 p.m. Eastern. And you will be able to rewatch that at any time. Under topics, I will make a foot fetish link so that way you can go to all those. Okay. So let's talk about, okay, this is how today's going to go. First, we're going to do the project, and after that, I will announce the winners of the giveaway. So not only do I have the Surge Fun Club membership, which I'm super, super excited about, I have 3 other gifts that I'm going to give away, and I'll just quickly show them to you. Why not? Just do it, right? So the first one is, let me grab some pens here. So my first giveaway is going to be the 2 little items. So this one right here, and if we get close, what does that say? Baby lock, yeah. And so this is a magnetic pen holder, so you can throw your pens in, or if you remove a screw or something, you can throw a screw in there. You can do whatever you want. So this is really cute. But what's really cool is it's magnetic here. So if you have an area, I mean, you can hang this sideways if you want to. So I'm giving away that plus one of the pen heads, and you may have not seen one of these, but they're super cute. It is a baby lock item. I make sure that I order all baby lock items because you know I'm kind of obsessed. And what this is a it's a pen, but it's also a stylus for your machine or whatever. So I can return. I say that. There we go. Okay, maybe you don't push too hard because the pen works. But for phones and stuff, but the reason why they have this cute little hairdo here is it's a cleaner, so you can clean your screens. So I thought that was so cute. I had to get these. So that's the first gift will go to someone. The second gift, I love these. I don't drink coffee, but I know a lot of you do drink coffee and hot tea. I have an official Baby Lock mug. So really cute on that side and really cute on that side. So yay, aren't those cute? So I know a lot of you like mugs, so I made sure to order some mugs so we can do that. But the last one, whoever wins this, did I lose my, oh, I lost my microphone. Denise, that was I had an enter thing. It was earlier this week, and it ran through yesterday. So I sorry you missed it, but I do a lot of giveaways, so just you know. Okay, Can we order baby lock items like this? And you can go to your retailer, your baby lock retailer, and see if they can get them for you. Okay, it is a huge mug, Stacy. It's huge. It's like huge. All right, now this one's super cool that I'm giving away. Are you ready to see this? Hey, you'll like this one because I think this one's really beautiful. When I pulled this out of the box, I was like, man, I need to order me one. Okay, here we go. This is the big fun gift. Okay, it is this baby lock water bottle. Water bottle. What? Look how cute that water bottle is. So it has that on both sides. So it says create fearlessly. And it's just one of your regular water bottles here. And you can see it's one of the insulated ones. So you can put hot or cold in there, but so pretty. So there we go. So that I'll be doing that at the end of or when we're done with our project. And yeah, so let's get started. Let's talk about that. I know it is so cute, isn't it? I love it. I tell you, they have the best promo gifts. I guess we'll call them that. They really do. They're really pretty, like really nice. And they're not chintzy. They're really, really nice. Okay. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to make a Trapunto block, basically. You can use this block for anything. You can make a bunch of them and put them together. You can make them as hot pads. You can do whatever you want. If you're not very sure what Trapunto is, I'm about to go over that with you. But what I want to do first is just kind of show you the block. Now I use the shapes inside of IQ Designer. Do I only have to use those shapes? Absolutely not, because what do we have? we have the ability to bring designs in from wherever we want, right? Because we have IQ Designer. I can go grab a clip art and bring it in, and I can make that trapunto. I mean, when I was doing my research, I have the an idea for the cutest quilt, and I don't want to say anything because I want to make it first and then show you guys, but it's going to be stinking adorable using this trapunto technique. Um, Gail, okay, let me go ahead and answer the questions that I keep seeing here. Gail asked, how do I sign up for the gifts? Okay, so earlier this week, and sorry, I have to put my glasses on because I'm about blind. Earlier this or last Sunday, I mentioned that I was going to be doing a giveaway this week. And what I do for you to sign up is on Wednesday, I took and I put a post and it said, hey, giveaway, yay, this is what we're giving away. And then I give you a question to answer. And within that post, you answer the question. And I do cut it off at a specific time and date. So I actually said I was going to cut it off at 10 p.m. Eastern last night. I cut it off about 12 p.m. Eastern last night. So everyone who answered the questions was entered into the giveaway. It was pinned to the top of the page, but don't stress out because ask these people. I like to do giveaways. We'll do more. Don't you worry. I really really like that. So don't worry about it. Okay, so let's get back to Trapunto. I'm gonna put my glasses on because first I want to kind of give you a little bit of history about Trapunto. I love quilt history. It's very important, just like any history. And so I just kind of wanted to show you traditionally what it is. So I am going to share my screen here super quickly. And we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to get on to our project. How cute. All right. Oh, you are always in my way. So let me shrink this down a little bit. I have to shrink my screen or else I can't see what I'm doing here. Okay, here we go. All right, so Trapunto. What is traditional Trapunto? Okay, traditional Trapunto basically was way back in the day when they were doing all the handwork and nothing by machine, period. Well, they love to do these beautiful designs on their quilts. Now, if you look at the picture that I have pulled up right now, you can see a hand that is holding maybe some grain or some leaves or something like that. And the trapunto part is basically, you see how the hand is risen off of the fabric? So trapunto means stuff. So basically it is taking and stuffing areas of the quilt to make them appear 3D. And they did it multiple different ways back in the day. They would literally quilt everything, turn it over, cut a slit in the back of the quilt where the design is that they wanted to stuff, and they would stuff in their cotton or old pieces of fabric, just anything. Now if you go to a quilt museum and you see these quilts, they are so stunning, and they really stuffed the heck out of them. They're beautiful. And I just thought this was a really great picture, showing that. And I think I have to zoom out a little bit. I think there's another one. Okay, here's another great version of that. Now, can you see how long ago that was? It says 1823. Oh, be still my heart. But can you see all the little flowers right up here? And her name, Elizabeth's name, and 1823, and then her flower basket here. That is Trapunto. It is elevated. They wouldn't have called it 3D back then, but it basically has that 3D effect. It's so cool. Now we can still do Trapunto today. We just do it a lot easier. A lot of us don't hand quilt anymore, right? So, but we can use our embroidery machines to do that, right? We can use our embroidery machines to make Trapunto. It's super easy. So I kind of pulled up some other images here. So right here, that's that's very traditional Trapunto right there. Now, if I scroll over, you can see this is another form of Trapunto. This looks like they did free motion, which is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Love this. And you can see this one here. But if I jump down to this one right here, this is an embroidery design by Anita Good Design. So can you see here that the back is all squished down, but the flower really pops. It really, really looks yummy. And that just makes me so happy. And super quickly, I'll just do a couple more just to give us a good idea. Now there's some very modern ones in here. This is from Embroidery Library. You can see here that these flowers stick out a little bit more 3D. Let's see. This is all done free motion. So if my free motion girls, ooh, y'all get onto it. Now I don't do free motion. I am not good at it. This one's beautiful right here. That's all free motion. But there is a way to get away with it. It is gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning. It's really a fun way to use one color of fabric. And basically, you know, back in the day, they did whole cloth. So whole cloth means they would just take a big piece of cotton fabric, lay it down, stitch it, and then do this technique. Stunning. So in a nutshell, let's do stop share. In a nutshell, that's Trapunto. Well, I'm starting out with a very easy example because we need to learn the basics of it first, right? So we're going to do it with 3 different shapes inside of IQ Designer. And let me show you mine. How cute. So it is. So if I hold it like this, you can see, and I'll put it on camera here in a minute. You can see that I have the 3D effect going on right here. Do you want to guess how many layers of batting I have in there? I'm going to give us, answer my question. How many pieces of batting do you think I have? I'll take a sip of my caffeine. 3, got 3. Okay, close. 3, that's close. 3, that's close. You're all, y'all are really, really close. 2. Actually, Kathy, Molly, and Alexis, y'all are closest. I actually have 4. I have 3 layers for what I'm going to call the base layer. And then I have another full piece of batting for the quilting that is around it. So I'm actually 5. Lynn, you were very close, but Brenda, 4. Exactly, 4. I used 4. Can you use more? Absolutely. Can you use less? Absolutely. It just depends on how high you're going to raise your foot on your machine. If you go into 5, 6, 7, you're just going to have to be very, 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 very careful. Slow your speed down. Make sure that you use a topper or something. It's just going to be, a little bit of a nightmare if you keep going really, really high. But do you, girl, right? So I used 4 pieces of batting, or excuse me, 3 pieces of batting right here. And then I used a big, huge piece of batting to lay over so the rest of the quilting will show through. So basically I have 4 pieces of batting. Now I am using 2 different kinds of batting, too, because you can use a couple different things. And Mary, good question. That's what I was just about to get to. So you can use regular cotton batting. You can use cotton batting that's 80-20. You can use fusible fleece. And you can use wool. And wool is cool because it's squishy. It's about that thick and it squishes down. You can use that. Wool batting's really great for this. So yeah, whatever. Now what I used 2 layers of the fusible fleece because it has that wool feel to it. It's that kind of that squishy. It's real thin, but it's squishy. And 1 piece of cotton batting. So my 2 pieces of fusible fleece, my 1 piece of cotton batting, and I'm going to show you all this. So don't, if you're trying to catch up with me, I'm going to tell it to you again. And 1 piece of cotton batting. So that was for underneath my design. And then a regular piece of 100% cotton batting for the top. And I'm a truist. all cotton. Love all cotton when it comes to batting. So, okay. I just saw Julie's comment. That's hysterical. Yes, girl, you can catch up anytime you want. Have fun with your wine. All right. So what we're going to do now is we are going to, let me wake the baby up. Switch over the camera. Today I will be working on the Meridian, but yes, you can do this on your Destiny. You can do this on your Meridian, your Altair, your Solaris 1, your Solaris 2, and the Brother-like machines. Again, if you have a different brand or you don't have one of those Baby Lock or Brother machines, if you have software, you can, I'm sure you can figure out how to do this. So, all right, I'm going to jump on over there. Let's do this. Put my glasses back on because I can't see. All right, there we go. Oh, that's much better. Okay. All right, well, you are going to see the screen of the Meridian right now. And it's just going to take me a moment to get everything switched over and get my microphone back on. And of course, while we're going through the whole process, please ask questions. All right, I have to get everything turned around so I can make sure that I see all your questions and actually see what I'm doing. All right, so here we are at the Meridian, and we will be making Trapunto. It's fusible batting like fusible Basel. There is a fusible batting that's a cotton batting, and then there's fusible fleece. I'm not sure if the fusible Basel might be kind of too thick for this. There is a really, when I think of fusible Basel, I think of something that's really thick. So they might have a thinner layer, but I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like. Okay, so let's talk about what you would need. And I'll just kind of turn you this way so you can see right here. Okay, so what I have is my hoop. So if I'm going to make a quilt block or a hot pad or something like that, I am going to hoop a piece of no-show mesh. This is a no-show mesh. So if you know me, this is one of my favorite stabilizers. It's very soft, it's pliable, and it drapes beautifully. It's not a tearaway. I'm really weird about tearaways. I don't use tearaways as much as everyone else does. I like soft and supportive. So I have got a no-show mesh right here. I'm then going to, well, I can do this one. Then what I'm going to have is I am going to have 2 pieces of, this is just what I'm using. You can use all batting if you want to. This is called fusible fleece. And now can you see through it? Yeah. So this is like a polyester type of batting. It has a little bit, it's probably about a 1/4 inch thick. It has a fusible backing on it. I'm not going to be using the fusible today. I'm just using this to help me today. So I have 2 pieces of that. Very cool stuff. And then I have a piece of beautiful, well-made, soft cotton, 100% batting. And the reason why I say well-made is when I look at it, I don't see a bunch of holes in it. Also, I don't see a whole bunch. I have a little bit of the grain in there. And you know what I mean when I say grain. You'll see little dark spots. I don't have a whole bunch of it. And this one is more of like a needle punched rather than a sprayed batting. I don't like sprayed battings. I like needle punch batting. And how you can tell that is you can actually see the little needle marks in there. Let me go back to this for Angela. You're from the UK. Hey, girl. Is machine the same or similar to the Brother Stellaire? Yeah, so yes, the Brother Stellaire has my design center, Angela, and that's what you're going to use through this process. So yes, it is. It's similar. Okay. Now, the last two things that I have is I have a piece of cotton fabric and I have a piece of cotton batting on the back. Is it similar to Warm and Natural? Warm and Natural is a batting. Yeah, that's not what I'm using, but you can use Warm and Natural, yes. So I'm just making a 10-inch block, or I'm using 10-inch block. And so you can cut your fabric to whatever you want. So I've got my cotton fabric. It's just a white piece. And then I have got my cotton batting, and I've got it spray basted. I love 505 to it just so it'll kind of hang out together. I have never shrunk my no-show mesh ever, 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 ever. I didn't even know you could do that until recently. So no, I don't do that. All right, so let's get started on the process because this is what we're going to end up. I see you can even see it through the light. You see, maybe that's a good way to show it to you. So you can see that there's a lot of batting here, not a lot of batting here. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm just going to walk you through this shape. And then you are going to explore. You're going to grab shapes, you're going to bring them in, you're going to play, and make your own blocks because that'll be a lot of fun. And I'd love to see what y'all come up with. Now, I used two flower shapes. So this multi-petaled flower, which I have recently grown to love for some reason. And then this 5-petal flower and a little heart, and then a stipple, which I don't use as much as I should. So, okay. So Judy, for what good question. What I'm using today, this is not, you can use any size you want, depending on what size you want your block to be. But let me tell you what I've got. I've got my 9.5 by 9.5 inch hoop. I have got my hoop already hooped with my no-show mesh stabilizer. Depending on what size I want to do my my trapunto in the center, what I did was just cut 5.5-inch squares of each of these because I knew that would give me a good enough size for any size that I really chose for that center piece. So all three of these are about 5.5 by 5.5. And this square here, this will be considered my quilt block, is 10 inches by 10 inches, and the batting on the back is 10 inches by 10 inches. Let's get that. So that's what I'm using today. Now, of course, can we make it any size we want? Absolutely. But if you're following along, that's what you got. All right, back to the screen here. All right, let's get started. Okay, so we are going to do what I do the most. I play an IQ designer, and if you're new here, I don't make it easy for you. What I like you to do is work through the screens with me, but we do go back and forth because that's the only way you're going to really learn how to use this, right? So what we're going to do first is go to IQ Designer, or if you have the Brother Like machines, nobody can hear me. Okay. All right, 1 second. Let's check that. All right, anybody else can't hear me? If you can hear me, give me a like, a heart, or something, or just say you can hear me. Let me make sure. Anybody else can't hear me? Okay, okay. Let's see. Dory, would you mind letting, where did she go? Carol Crossley know that she can log out and log back on for me. Or somebody let Carol Crossley know that to log out and log back on for me. And then that way her audio might just have petered out on her. So thank you guys. Perfect. Okay. Now that we all can hear. Perfect. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to IQ Designer. Now, if you have, oh, great, Carol. Perfect. Okay. So if you have a Brother machine, you're going to go back into, or you're going to go into My Design Center. So we're going to click that. And let's get the screen a little less fuzzy. There we go. That's a little bit better. A little bit. There we go. Thank you guys. Y'all are so helpful. Thank you so much for letting Carol know. Okay. Perfect. So now what you're going to be at is you're going to be in the IQ Designer / My Design Center design screen. And this is where all the magic's going to happen. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to create the first shape. And my first shape that I decided would be this shape right here. So I am going to go over to the first little grouping right here of 4 icons. You may have 5, but there are 4 of them, as well as that 5th one if you've got it. And this is going to be your line properties. Oh, I'm so wrong. I just told y'all something wrong. The first thing we need to do is grab our shape, right? Yeah, we don't need to go to line properties. We wouldn't be able to do anything. So actually, we're going to come straight down to here where there is a circle and square. And we're going to click on that button. So you're just going to tap it. And now we're going to find our first shape. Now the screen that you're in right now, this is your shapes group, or your shapes, where your shapes live. So in the first screen, we have basic closed shapes. Up here, if you see this little flag, we have more fun shapes. And the little curly Q right next to it, those are going to be open shapes. So where we want to be is in the regular shapes, and you'll know you're in there if your square is highlighted in a blue or gold color. And then I'm going to just come straight down and you'll see the little flower that we want to start with. So you can just click on her and then click OK. The next thing I want to do is resize her, because in my head, I'm thinking, you know what? I think I want my block finish to be around 8 inches. Now, this is where you're just going to decide on what size you want. So I know if I have a block finished, this one's finished about 8 inches, this guy right here, that this obviously needs to be a lot smaller. So I'm going to come down here to size. I'm going to click size, and it's going to tell me that this is a 6, almost a 6.5 inch flower. Well, for what I want to do, I think that's going to be a little too big. So I'm going to use the proportionately smaller button right here. It is the box with the arrows going inside. And I'm just going to push and hold until I get to maybe about 4.5 or so, somewhere around, we'll do, yeah, okay, whatever, 4.26, whatever. That's fine for me. I'm happy with that. So when you're happy with the size of your first flower, you're going to then select OK. Now what I want to do is assign it a stitch. Right now it's just a drawing. It's not going to do anything. It's basically what we would call a shape, and a shape is basically just a shape. It doesn't have any stitches assigned to it yet. So we need to do that now. So what we're going to do is now we're going to come over to our line properties, which is the top grouping of 4 little icons, and you'll see a pencil, a bucket, what I call the little piece of paper, and an eyedropper. I'm going to select the little piece of paper, and this is where I can assign it a line. So we're going to use running stitch throughout this whole process. So I'm going to select this guy right here. This is a running stitch. I'm going to tap on it, and I like to change the colors. It helps me see everything better. I don't leave them all black or anything like that. Each step I change the color. So I'm going to first select maybe this dark blue color right here, and then push OK. The next thing I want to do is up in these line properties area right here, I want to select this little bucket. So see the little bucket right there? I'm going to tap on her, and then I'm going to, either with my finger or my stylus or my mouse, I'm going to take and tap on the line. And although you really can't tell on mine because it's, on screen, mine did turn blue. And that way I know that it is going to be what I tell it to be because the color changed. The most important thing I want to do right here is save. I always say this, save and save often, because that's the perfect size I want. I'm going to use this again to come back here in a little bit, so I need to save it. So I am going to come down. Now you may be on a machine that has a button up here that says memory, or maybe down here memory. I can't remember where it is exactly. Or you'll have a pocket, you'll have a pocket that has an arrow going inside of it. So we want to select that guy. And I save everything to my machine. It's just what I do. If you have an external USB you like to save things to, you can save it there, but I've had no problems with saving things to my machine. So I'm going to click onto the machine and it's saved inside of IQ Designer to my machine. But remember, it's in IQ Designer. So the next thing I want to do is select the word next. And this is just telling me, hey, you assign this stitch a running stitch, and here I can change the stitch length. I'm not going to, I'm just going to leave it normal. I mean, it's actually a pretty good, nice little tight stitch for what we're doing today. So I like it, I'm happy. All I have to do at this point is if you're on a Altair, Meridian, Destiny, or the like brother machines, you're going to see preview down at the bottom here. So you're going to select preview. Now, if you're in a Solaris or the brother like machine, you'll just see set. So I want you to hit set, or if you see preview right here, select preview. Now we're going to select set, okay, and ta-da. Now where you are actually in the embroidery side of your machine now. We have gone from IQ Designer and now we're in the embroidery side of our machine. So I've got my first stitch. What this stitch is going to be is this is going to tack down my 3 pieces of batting. And it's all going to make sense in a little while how this works. If you've never seen this done, now some of you may have seen this done multiple times or done it yourself, but if you haven't, it seems weird. So just trust me on this. So this is going to be our basically our tack down stitch. So now what we want to do is we want to go to add down at the, let me return, it's down at the bottom right-hand corner, add. And then, let me see if I can get this a little, it still seems a little blurry to me. There we go, a little bit better. Now what I'm going to do is select IQ Designer, or if you have My Design Center, select that. Now remember, we saved a design, and that design was that flower. We're going to recall that design with the recall key. And no matter what machine you're on, you are going to look for a pocket with the arrow going out of it. That is called your recall key. So let's select her. And remember, I saved it to my machine. So I'm going to click on my machine and let's see where she's at. There she is right there. It's always going to be this very first one up here, the last thing you saved. So I'm going to tap on her and then hit set at the bottom, and it's going to be right inside of here, or it's going to be back on the screen in the design area. Now what I want to do is I want to go back to these line properties right here. And I'm going to select that little piece of paper again. So we're going to tap on him. I'm going to select the running stitch again. Like I said, we're going to use pretty much the running stitch for everything here. I'm going to tap on that. And I'm going to select a different color. So maybe I'll select green for this one. When I've selected the color that I would like to use, I'm then going to select OK. right back up here in my line properties box here, I'm going to select the bucket. And again, I'm either going to use my mouse to tap it, a stylus, or my finger to tap directly on that line. And it'll turn green. Now we're going to do something I don't think I've ever shown on here before, because this is a really cool way to, a really fast way to give your, let me unexpose this a little bit. There we go. To make your boundary for your quilting. Now, what you might think is we draw a box around this guy and we do all this stuff, but let me show you a really quick, easy way to do it. So if I'm looking for a boundary that's about 8.5 by 8.5 inches, I want this stippling just to stitch inside of that box. How am I going to do that? Quick and easy, okay? This is your quick and easy way. And like I said, I don't really think I've ever shown this to you guys. Oh, whoa, whoa. That's probably pretty good there. We're going to go into the shapes key again. So that is your circle and square. So let's tap that. And now what I'm going to do is we're going to use this little button right up here. So this is where all your shapes live, but you have a couple other buttons here. And if you've done any echo for me or with me, you know we've used this key, but we're going to use this key right here. Right here. We're not, yeah, it's easy to want to grab a box, but we're going to do something a little bit different. So we're going to grab this right here. It's a hoop. And we have all these hoop sizes in here that we can play with. So you can kind of use these to your advantage if you wanted to. So you have all the hoop sizes. And what if I said, I really want my block to be around 8 inches? I'm just going to grab this guy. I'm going to click on it and then select OK. What you're going to notice is there is a box now around my design. But the cool thing about this box is it will not stitch out an actual box line. It leaves it nice and open so you don't have an outline around your design, which means everything's free. And that is super duper cool to me. So it's kind of like, well, why would I use that? Well, if you come in and draw a box, you're going to have to go in and change it to not stitch out. Where if I just select that one, I don't have to do an extra step. So now what I'm going to do is this is going to basically be this stitch here, which is the outer of my flower, but I want to put my stippling in. So I'm going to now come down to the grouping, the grouping of 4 icons that's underneath the line properties. This is called your fill property. So F-I-L-L, I talk funny, so I have to spell that one. Your fill properties. So in this box, if I select this little piece of paper right here, I have some options. I can put a stipple stitch in, or if you want to get fancy, which we mostly use our fancy fills, we're going to select this little bubble icon and now come to select, and you can choose from all of your fills that are inside of your IQ Designer. So I'm actually, you can choose whatever you want for this, but I'm just going to use my stipple, and I'm going to select a color because like I told you, I like to select colors, just helps me visually see everything. And, you know, that's kind of how digitizers do it, you know, so I just picked a color, pink, and I'm going to say, okay. I'm then going to come to that second grouping of 4 icons, 4 or 5, depending on which machine you have. And you see the bucket? We're going to tap on the bucket. Now, I know if you're looking at your screen, you're going to be able to see your flower in your box. On my screen, my video screen, you can't see it. It's just, they're so light that you can barely pick up on them on the video screen. But believe me, they're there, and I'm going to show you that they're there. So I've got my bucket selected, and I'm going to come in here and tap in between my flower and my box line and watch. Boop. There we go. Now you can see it. That's where my stipple's going to go. Now, this is all I need to do. Actually, no, we're going to do 2 more steps. Okay? Now that our stipple is down, excuse me, I'm now going to go grab the second shape because I can go ahead and do this now. What if I wanted it echoed right there? It depends on what machine you have, Betty. So if you have a Solaris, you can do the echoing and the embroidery part. If you have software like Palette 11, you can do the echoing in there. The Altair Meridian does not really have an echoing feature. You can try to make it echo by repeating this flower and making it larger and larger and larger and larger and come out. But sometimes it doesn't work with all the shapes. So good question. Okay, so I'm now going to go grab my 5-petal flower in my little shapes key right here. How did you, from doing the stipple inside the flower, how did I get the stipple in? How did I keep it from, I think you meant how did I keep it? Because we had the outline of the flower in the center. So if I go back. So can you see on my screen, Carol, I have the flower shape right here, and then I have the outline shape. So once I turn on my bucket to tap in there, it's only going to color in where I want it to. So if I tapped inside of the flower, it would just do the flower. If I tapped in between the flower and the box, it's going to do outside of the flower. All right, so now we're going to go to the shapes key. And we're going to go look for that little 5-sided petaled flower. So there we go, right here. Sure. And I'm going to select it and then push OK. And she's going to be really big. You can barely see her on my screen, but on your screen, you can barely see it. But on your screen, you should be able to see it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take her and go to size and shrink it down. And in a minute, you'll be able to see it, or in a second here, you'll be able to see it inside of my other flower. There she is. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So I'll say okay. And what I want to do with this one is I just want to make sure it's keeping the same, it should keep the same attributes as the outer flower, which was a running stitch. What I'm going to do now is just check in the line properties that it is a running stitch. So I'm still going to leave it green. That's fine. So I'm going to go to my little piece of paper, and the running stitch is still selected. So that's good news. So I'm just going to say okay to that. And now I'm going to add my little heart. Sorry, that's such a bad picture, but I have to lighten it up, darken it, lighten it up, darken it. So we're going to go back to our shapes. And I'm going to come in here and grab my little heart. Actually, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to change up my heart because I can do whatever I want, right? We can do whatever we want for our shapes or with our projects. So I'm going to go to this little flag icon. And let's see, what do I want to be there in the center? He's cute. I think I'm just going to do like a little fun heart. So it has this little bitty bloop to the side. So I'm going to click on her and select OK. And now it's really big, and I just need to go to the size key and press and hold the proportionally smaller. No, Lynn, you can use any shapes you want. Yeah, you could keep on using that same shape. Absolutely. All right, so anything you wanted, you can make, yeah, you can kind of make it look kind of echoey there. Now, I see that I have my little heart in the center, and to me, visually, It is centered, but you know how hearts, or this heart, since it's got a little bit of emotion, it may not appear centered. So what you can do is just take your move keys when you're inside of the size key and just move it down to get it more visually centered for yourself. Okay, so I have my outer heart, or excuse me, my outer flower, my inner flower, and my little heart. And I'm going to say, if you're still in this screen, you're just going to select OK. And then you should be able to see next. So we're going to select next. And on your screen, when we get into the editing area, it's going to kind of show you things very lightly. So if you're want to see the different parts of your design, you're going to hit the select keys. So you go select. Oh, there's my big flower. Oh, there's my small flower. Oh, there's my heart. But what this is allowing me to do is to come into each thing that I've designed and change the attributes. Now, we really can't see what the stipple is going to look like right now, right? So this is very important. If you are in a Solaris, yours is going to look different. It's going to show you the stitch out, what it looks like immediately. But if you're on a Altair, a Meridian, a Destiny, or the Brother-like machines, it's going to look similar to mine. And what you can do is come down here to preview first and say preview. Okay. Now it's going to give me the view. So let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Now it's going to give me the stitch view, what it's really going to look like. And to me, those little stitches are really, really, really tiny. So I might want to go back and change the size of that stipple. So let me see. Anna, on the sample, it looks like the stipple seems to have no loose ends. Will this do the same? Not sure. Loose ends meaning it's a closed shape. They do close off. They don't stay open, if that's what you're asking. Okay, let me, oh, no. I shouldn't have done that because now I'm out of, there we go. I think I got it. Okay. So I'm going to return. Let's still get that. There we go. So now if I hit set, that's it. I'm done. That means I have to use what I'm going to use. I can't go back. But if I hit return, it's going to take me back to that screen. So I'm going to go to the 2.0 where it says this right here. It's the stipple with arrows. You can kind of see two little blue arrows in there. And I'm going to make it wider. Now, again, it's not going to show you exactly on screen. I'm going to go to 0.220. And Dory, I'll get back to your answer in just a second. 0.220 and then set. And now I'm going to hit preview again and OK. And I don't know if you can tell, but my space or my, I should have really just, let's return. Let's change that color. Let's make it darker so you can see it. Let's preview that. Okay, now you can see that. So my stippling has gotten bigger. So Dory, to get back to your question, on the sides, it is all closed. On all sides, it's all closed. It is not an open design. So if you're trying to connect these, you're just gonna have to butt them up really closely. Okay, so now let's hit return. If I want it still to be a little bit wider, a bigger stippling, I'm gonna go to where it says the 2.220. Oh, I don't know if it really, oh, because I changed colors. Well, here, let's just go to, I'm gonna go point that right there and hit set and preview and OK. And there we go. I'm happy with that. Yes, for a continuous block, question for a continuous look for next block, question mark. So you can do that, but these are going to be connected. So you're just going to have to move everything really close together when you do continuous. Yeah. No, there aren't any open ends on these. So yeah. So let me return back. Okay. So I decided that that worked good for me. Now, if you're in the Solaris machine, you don't have a preview to hit. You just have a set to hit. So before you hit set, and hopefully you haven't hit it, what you're going to do is you're going to select the key down at the bottom. It may say memory. And those of you who have any other machine, you're going to select this icon with the pocket with the arrow going in and save it to your machine. And what this is going to do, this means I can go back and edit this if I want to. So if you go all the way through the processes of the word set, you can't go back without, and you haven't saved, I should put it that way, then you cannot go back and change things. So I'm happy with this. I'm going to select preview. Look how cute that is. Very cute. And I'm going to hit set and OK. Now notice I'm going to have 3 colors. And my 3 colors, let's see if it'll show me here. My 3 colors are going to be, let's go to this top one. The first stitch will be the tack down stitch for my 3 pieces of batting. The next stitch will be your fill stitching. And then the last stitches will be the center area, the flower, the little flower, and the heart. So it's pretty darn cool. So let me get you started. So if you're following along, you want to make sure that your hoop is on the machine. Nothing is on your hoop just yet. So let's get some good light on that. There we go. The first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to take my 3 little 5.5-inch battings, which I chose, that's my size, and I'm going to stack them all on top of each other. Does it matter what goes where? No, it's not going to matter. And I'm going to just kind of visually center them under the needle here. And I will take a little piece of tape and hold them down just in case. Y'all know me, I like my tape. I like to have tape that holds things down. I think I'm just going to do across this corner and across this corner. Should be fine. So I've got my tape, I'm holding it in place. Now, one thing that I do want you to do is we're going to jump back to the screen of the machine real quick. To start off, we are going to go to our settings, right up here, the little piece of paper at the top of your machine. And we're going to come down here and start looking for embroidery foot height. For this very first part, we're going to change the embroidery foot height to 0.080. So 0.080. And again, that is found in the settings screen. So I'll go back out. So settings is right up here. So you see the little piece of paper. Let's tap on that. We're going to go down. You'll be in your embroidery settings, and you're going to look for embroidery foot height. And then we're going to, if it was set at anything else, you're going to take this and hit plus or minus and get it to 0.080. And then just select the word OK. Now, what you also want to make sure of here is this is the embroidery edit screen. If you have the word embroidery down here, we want to make sure we select that. And there we go. Now we're ready to stitch out. You can watch these at any time. You can always rewatch the videos at any time. All right, so I am going to zoom back over here and we're going to watch the first part stitch out. So this is going to be the tack down of the 3 pieces of batting. I'm just using a 75 needle regular bobbin thread. Oh, I need to make sure I grab my applique scissors. And because it's a running stitch, it goes around twice. There's no way to change that. I actually like that it goes around twice because that's a very secure stitch. Especially when we're about to go trim around. And yes, this requires applique shears. So whatever pair of applique shears you have, the next thing I'm going to do is take and remove the tape. I don't need that anymore. And I'm going to trim on the outside all 3 pieces of batting. I'm going to make sure that it's off. I'm just going to trim it all away. So my arm's going to be in the way for just a moment. Okay, just to get it started. We get really, really close to the outside. So this part's just like doing an applique, right? We're just trimming away the excess. We don't need this. This is garbage now. I don't need it. I take my hoop off so I can turn it all the way around when I'm working, when I'm cutting. So that way I'm not in any weird positions and hurting myself. Thanks, Alyssa. That's very sweet. I really appreciate that. That's what I do. I love teaching. And sometimes I feel like I might be giving too much information, but you know, there's no hurting in that at all. And to me, that's the only way you're going to learn your machine is if you know what's happening to it. And also, if you're touching the buttons, always touch the buttons on your machine. Always. All right. So there we go. That's perfect. Beautiful. What's the name of my scissors? How did you know to change it? Donna, good question. Trial and error, girl. Trial and error. You know, if something's not working right, I just change a button until it does work right. See, I do all the dirty work for you guys. I get all the I get to go through all the trials and tribulations, and then that way I try to make it as easy as possible for you guys. So the name of these scissors, these are the I love these. These are Quilter Select scissors, and they're the applique scissors. And what I like about them is, yes, they have a duck bill, but they have a super sharp point on the front. I don't like regular duck bills where they're just cut off right here because you can't. Ugh, ugh. That's all I gotta say about that. But I do love these because they have this very sharp point and it's a baby bit curved right here, so you're able to get up under that fabric. Cookie's here. Hey, Cookie. Oh, hey, Cookie. Okay, Cookie, yes. Thank you for putting that up. Yes, they are the Quilter Select Wave Scissors. They're amazing. Yeah, well, kind of. Since we had already set that for the outer flower. Okay, Karen, I'm sorry, I'm talking to you. So since should have said that first, right? So when we were an IQ designer and we made the outer flower the second time, it went ahead and applied those stitches to each shape, if that makes sense. All right, so our next step is we're going to take our piece of fabric that has our batting, that is on top of our batting. Our batting's on the wrong side. And we're going to just take and center this directly on top. Yep, this is how easy it is. We're going to center it directly on top of my Trapunto piece. Can you see what's happening now? See, embroiderers make it life so much easier. Okay, perfect. Did I see your question? Let me go back up. Let me see. Why wouldn't you put the other batting on top? like this piece right here, if this piece right here, we need a piece, we need these, whatever we're going to use as the trapunto, we need those down first because we have to get away everything from the excess away from the stitch line. If I were to put this down right here, before I put those down, then what would happen is this would be all stitched down, and then I would be fighting this fabric to get it out of the way to try to trim all of this. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, I'm going to take some tape and just tape down the, I just like to put, for this part, just put a piece at the top and a piece at the bottom. It just holds it into place. Yeah, Pamela, they're pretty cool. They're pretty darn cool. Get you, they're Cookie. If you're still on here, can you put some information about how to find R&K dealers or Embellish or Quilter Select? Would you mind putting a link or something? I really appreciate your help. Thank you. You're the bestest. Okay, so the next thing that's going to happen is, it says it's going to show me right here, is it's going to do my stippling. So this will just take a moment. So I'm going to let it do my stippling next. Just drop the foot and hit start. And this goes by actually pretty quick, the stippling. Yes, Sue, I haven't seen that, but I know they've got some really pretty Trapunto designs. So if you didn't see what Sue said, she said Anita Good Design has a really pretty design called Trapunto Christmas. And so those are pre-made, right? Easy breezy. But if you're like me, you're like, I'm going to figure that out. I want to try it myself. Then I can use my program built in. And that would actually be a cute idea to do a Trapunto Christmas tree. Ooh, maybe around Christmas time, guys, we'll figure out how to do a Trapunto Christmas tree. All right, so let's give that a moment to stitch out. That's a good question, Sandy. Sandy, this is actually my job. So a lot. Good question. No, I not only do I do this, I've been pattern writing for a very long time. But I work at a little quilt shop here where I live. But also, I love to sit in front of my machines and think about what I can do. Mm-hmm. So does it matter if when creating you did this? No, Joe, it doesn't matter at all. Not at all. You can have it. Thank you, Cookie. You're the bestest in the world. Okay, so Cookie, if you don't know who Miss Cookie Gaynor is, she is an amazing Embellish educator. And Embellish is a great little, not little, a great product. They're great products, excuse me, that were designed and inspired by my bestie, Hope Yoder. And they are underneath the R&K moniker. And Miss Cookie Gaynor is one of the Embellish educators, and she's absolutely amazing. You need to go find her and find Embellish and find R&K and look at all the cool stuff they do. They do videos, they do all kind of stuff. So Cookie put some information up for us, and she put a little site up. So thank you so much, Cookie, for doing that. Do we leave the foot? Yes, it should be fine at this. For right now, but we will, after the stippling stops, we're going to change the foot height. So yeah, I was going to tell you all that next. Thanks, Louise, for reminding me. Do you change the height? Hold on. Yes, you'll change your foot height back. Yes. Is your stabilizer going to be on the block? Could you have, Deborah? So when I make quilted, or when I make blocks in the hoop, I always leave this no-show mesh on the back. It just adds body. It's not going to hurt anything. Carol, mine does make a moaning. She's moaning Myrtle. Yes, she does moan. Janice, we can call you Cookie if you want. Yeah, Susan, I'm a big Harry Potter fan, by the way. Uh, could you have put a piece of fabric under? Yeah. Of course, Deborah, you could totally have a piece of fabric like taped to the back so it would quilt all the way through. Absolutely. Yeah, poor story. I'll do that for you. Yes, Jane, Cookie is amazing. I learned a lot from her, so absolutely. All right, so the next step is important because now we're going to be going over this guy. So what we're going to do is we are now going to raise our foot height a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to go back to our machine, hey, our screen, page screen, whatever it's called. And we're going to go back to this button right here. Now, if you don't do this, it may work fine, but I think safety's best. We pay a lot of money for these machines, right? Make a Marauders map. Y'all are so funny. So I'm going to go back down to my embroidery height, and I'm going to change it to 0.120. And that's just going to raise the foot a little bit more to work over that little area right there. So again, let me go back. I'm going to go to my little piece of paper. These are my settings. I'm going to come back down to embroidery foot height, and it was set at 0.080. Now I'm going to change it to 0.120. So I'm then just going to say okay. And now it's going to stitch out these little guys. And it just raises it up a little bit more. It's just a safety precaution. And I'm just going to drop this, and it should stitch out all 3 of my little flowers. Now it'll do the outline, it'll do the inside flower and the heart. But if you're doing this right now, how cool is it? It's so cool to see that puff in the center. I just think it's precious. I am definitely an old soul when it comes to quilting. I love the old techniques, but of course I want to figure out how to do them quicker and easier. I'm always up to no good, girl. I'll have to, when this is done, I'll have to show you a little quilt that was made for me. How do you decide on the height of my foot? Carol, great question. Trial and error, girl. No, joke. I don't. It's just kind of just trial and error. If I feel like if it's starting and I feel like it's still too low, then I'll stop it and raise the foot a little bit. It's literally just trial and error. I wish I did. That would make it much more easier. Like how cute. All right, now it's going to do the heart. How will I do the back? Mindy, with this, I could just take a back. If I wanted to make it a trivet, I would just put a back piece on the back and bind it all the way around. If I was going to make it into a quilt, there's multiple different ways I could do it. One day I'm going to finish my bird quilt that I did from Xandra's Designs, and I'll walk y'all through how I do that, how I put a backing on. All right, look how cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Dory, this is for you. So you can see now that these do finish off closed, and that is all the way around. They are closed. The ideal height that would just skim the fabric, if you're doing this, probably either 0.100 or 0.120, what we just did. But I'm going to now, before I leave my machine, because I'm not going to make any more of these on this machine, I'm going to go back to my settings, and I'm going to put it back to the default, which is perfect height for regular embroidery, which is oh, I'm so sorry, you can't see that, which is 0.060. I am pretty much everything I do, guys, I use cotton fabric. I am a cotton fabric girl because I'm a quilter, so I have tons of it. That's usually what I use. Yeah, Diane, I will. Seriously, I promise y'all, I am almost done with my bird quilt, and I'll show y'all how I did that. Okay, so there we go. So now I just pop her out of the hoop and do whatever I was going to do. But can you see the definition? How adorable. Yes. Thanks, Dory, for reminding me that. So when you change something, let's say I'm still on that screen, embroidery foot high, you can see that there's no black box. That means that I have changed the default. Now, if I go back and look for that black box, that's the default. I meant the rule of thumb would be that the foot just skim the fabric. You want it a little bit, that's a good question. You want it a little bit higher than the fabric. So it's almost skimming it, but maybe just a hair higher. Maybe. Yeah. It's like I just do everything by trial and error. That's why I always make a sample beforehand. So I can tell y'all what worked for me and what not to do. But so okay, so this is 4 layers, right? It squished it down enough, but it has that beautiful definition. It feels so cool. It just feels so cool. Now this right here, because I had the batting underneath like a traditional quilt, I still have a little bit of definition, but not this much definition, right? How cute is that? Yeah, it is so, yeah, Diane, it's so much easier than back if you've ever done it the other way. So what I meant earlier by what they would do is let's pretend this is all hand stitch and none of this batting was in here, or right here. What they would literally do is cut little holes, like let's say right here, and they would stuff it. They would cut a little hole here and stuff it. They would cut a hole in here and stuff it, cut a hole in here and stuff it, and then have to hand stitch that back together. Nope. You keep breaking your needle, Stacy. Stacy, put a new needle in, and make sure do these 3 things. I want you to put a new needle in, even if it's a new needle. Rethread your machine, pull your bobbin out and put it back in. How many types of batting did I use? I used 2 different types of batting. I used fusible fleece and regular 100% cotton. All right, so you know what we're going to do now? What everyone's been waiting for. We are going to turn the camera back around to me and we're going to do our giveaway. Yay! So I just got to get situated here. Get myself all back. I'm all tangled up right now at the moment. If y'all could see this production every time I do this, it's hysterical. So I just used, so if I just used one of the fill stitch could, you can really, try it out and see if you like it, hey, it's not going to hurt anything to try anything, right? Just don't do it on that pretty fabric you've been saving. Do it on some cheap muslin or just like a solid fabric or something like that. So yeah. Oh, let's put these puppies back on. I want to make sure I didn't miss any. What color thread did he use? Oh, that was a purple. The first one I used a pink, Laura, and that was a purple. Yay. Okay, so let's get back to why we're here besides learning today. Okay. It's giveaway time. So really quickly, let me do something here. And okay, so this is the Surge Fun Club right here. And if you can see there, that adorable picture, that is Lori Hernandez. That's her caricature. And it's like it's so perfectly her. It's so beautiful. And this was going to be the club that if you have a serger, if you win and you have a serger, you're going to win this. It is where you can learn how to do all different types of sewing using your serger. So, and she does incorporate a lot of embroidery into it. So if you have your embroidery machine and then you have your serger, I mean, look how cute those little bags are. I want one. Someone make me a bag. So there's going to be all kind of little great every month, a great tutorials, videos, and projects. So if you don't win today and you have a serger, I would say sign up because this girl right here is the bomb.com when it comes to sergers. So, okay. So let's talk about this. And we're going to stop share. There we go. Okay, got like 15 million things happening there on my screen. So weird. Okay, so what we're going to do, and I will show you just so you know, this is how I do my my giveaways. So we're going to go back to screen share so you can see again. And okay, so I use this little wheel right here, and I've got all these numbers in it. 144 of you answered the question. So I've got numbers 1 through 44 here. Okay. So what I can do with this, or what I'm going to do with that, excuse me, I should talk right. So what I did was I made an Excel spreadsheet with everybody's name, and everybody has a number all the way to 144. So I'm going to let that little wheel choose the number, and then I'll come here and find the number and tell you who won. Are we ready? So we are going to start with, what are we going to start with? Let's just start with the big gift. Let's start with Lori and Zandra's Surge Fun Club. Are you ready? Is everyone ready? Yeah. Okay, here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the word spin, and it's going to spit me out a number. I'm going to make sure to write that number down, and we'll find out who won. And if you happen to be on tonight and for some reason you do not have a serger, let me know as soon as possible, because that way I can come and choose another winner for the Serger Fun Club. Or that means you just got to get a serger. You go to your Baby Lock retailer and get a new serger. Here we go. I'm selecting. I'm doing it. I know you're dying here. I'm dying too. Here we go. All right. This is for the Surge Fun Club. Woo! So number 5. Let's see who number 5 is. Are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? It is Jane Lawler. Yay, Jane. So hopefully she's on here tonight so she can let me know. So congratulations, Jane. Yay! If she's not, I'm going to get in touch with her. If for some reason she decides not to take that prize, we will come back on in a couple days and do another. We'll make sure we do this until we get someone who has a serger. Yay! How exciting! Congratulations. Oh my goodness. Let me see if she's on here. I wonder if I can type in Jane Lawler. Nope, I don't think I can. It doesn't work that way. All right, so I'll find out from her. Okay. All right, well, the next gift is, let's go back to our page and select done. Yes, get a serger. Okay, so I don't know if you can see me up at the top of the screen here. However, the next gift is going to be the magnetic Baby Lock pin cushion and the little pin head, which is so stinking cute. And we're going to see who's going to win this little combo here. We're ready? Let's hit the spin key. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom. And that number is number 12. Let's go find out who number 12 is. Number 12 is right here, Donna Judd. Yay! So congratulations, Donna. If you're on here, congratulations. I will reach out to you. If you're not, I will still reach out to you. Congratulations. All right. I have to write it down or else I'll forget, guys. Okay. That's why it takes me a minute. So congratulations, Donna. All right. Moving on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So the fabulous Baby Lock mug. Yay. Oh, I probably shouldn't put my hair to it, but there we go. I've had shots. I'm good. Okay. So our fabulous Baby Lock mug. How exciting. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ready? Everybody ready? All right. Let's hit the spin button. Spin. Who is going to win this awesome mug for my coffee addicts out there? Number 82. Uh-oh, here we get to scroll down. All right, let's see who number 82 is. Hopefully someone's on tonight. I want you to get a Baby Lock Triumph. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes. Okay, we're getting down to 82 here. All right, so that is Patty Chevalier, and I probably said that so wrong, but Patty, congratulations, you get the mug. Get the mug. So, Patty, da-da-da-da. Oh, well, I didn't know that, Christina. Thanks. I had no clue about that. And I use Excel all the time, but not for like real purposes, not like real people use it. I'm like, oh, here, I'm gonna make a list. Okay, Patty, congratulations. Yay. So I will get in touch with you. And even if you're not on here, I will still get in touch with you. Let me write her name down so I don't forget. Congratulations, Patty. Okay, and I have to go ahead and say my favorite besides the Surge Fun Club gift is this awesome water canister or hot cold canister. Oh, it's so pretty. So for the Baby Lock hot cold canister thing, whatever we want to call it, it's so cute. Here we go. All right, one more spin and we're done. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh yeah, pick me, pick me. Who is this gonna be? 117. So let's go see who 117 is. Now I've already forgot what Christina told me, so I'm just going to zoom on down. And that makes it more. So Darlene Helm Griffith. So if you're on tonight, hey girl, you just won this. This is so cute. Congratulations. And so let me write that down and then we'll get to the rest of what else is happening today. Congratulations to all our winners. I'm going to get in touch with each and every one of you through Messenger. So I hope, yay, congratulations, everybody. Congratulations. So let's get that out here. There we go. We're done. So, wow, I love doing giveaways. They're so much fun. I love giving stuff away. So I don't do them as much as I would love to, but I try to do them as much as possible. So congratulations to everybody. And welcome to my new members. Thank you so much, all of you, for my members. I appreciate every single one of you. And this is number 39, believe it or not. We're almost to number 40. And in July, it'll be a year we've been doing this. Can't believe it. You guys have stuck with me this entire time. I really appreciate you all. So I hope you all have a fantastic week. I will see you Wednesday if you're going to watch our new foot fetish segment. and we will we'll have so much fun like we normally do. And then Sunday, same place, same time. I will see you guys soon. I hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you soon. And always remember to shop local, shop small. Very, very important, especially in these times. And I'll see you Wednesday. Have a great, great week, guys. Bye bye.